frick the marketing campaign for this dang movie.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar.
How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden World. I know 3's not in the title, but I don't care. It should have been called just How to Train Your Dragon 3, to be honest. So How to Train Your Dragon The Hidden World is the third installment into one of my favorite animated trilogies, probably of all time, at least in the 2010s. We haven't had that many in the 2010s. Yeah, I can't really think of any trilogies that started in the 2010s and ended in the 2010s. And this is one that we now have. Opinions on the first two, I do have reviews up of those if you want to go check that out. But quick reviews of them. Love 1, love 2. I especially love 2. Great movie. Both of those movies I freaking love. I think they're both freaking great movies. So I went into this movie really hoping. Like, I was really hoping they could stick the landing of this trilogy. Because, if you face it, the trailers for this movie weren't that good, to be honest. I didn't like 1. I thought the use of Castle on the Hill was so on the nose and annoying. I don't even like that song, to be honest. I thought it was a bad trailer. I didn't like it. It didn't excite me for the movie. I was very worried for the movie. Trailer 2 happened. It was better, but it didn't excite me for the movie. Was still worried. Didn't know if it could stick the landing of a great trilogy, to be honest. Now, one thing I'm just going to say through every single How to Train Your Dragon movie, the animation in these movies keeps improving and improving and improving. I think here it has the greatest animation in the entire trilogy. When they get to the actual Hidden World, it is beautiful. It looks amazing. I was in shock by how beautiful the movie looked, especially that scene there. The scale of the movie, like I said with How to Train Your Dragon 2, the scale in this movie, very well done. That is something that's very hard to pull off in movies, but thankfully this movie is very good at making you feel the size of some of these things. It is a very well done movie in that sense. Also, another thing I really liked in this movie was, this is with the other ones, but there's a very believable relationship between Toothless and Hiccup. The entire trilogy is built around that relationship. It does so well. You really feel the bond there. It is a real bond, and I loved it, and it might be one of my favorite human-animal bonds ever. Another thing that surprised me, in the last movie, I wasn't entirely on board with the first movie, I did not believe the Astrid and Hiccup relationship. The second movie, I kind of believed it. It was a lot better there, and it was a lot more believable there. I might have said something else in my review. I now think it's not that great. It's okay there. But here, it's a very believable relationship. They definitely, I really was hoping they'd look at that relationship and be like, oh, we need to expand that. They definitely did. They definitely expanded on that relationship, and it was a lot better. Another thing to kind of criticize this movie on, I wasn't a fan of the villain in this movie. No one really was. What is it? I don't remember his name. Grindel? I don't know. That was the freaking Fantastic Beasts garbage. I don't know. I didn't like the villain in this movie at all. At least he was menacing, and at least he did feel like there was a presence. But his motivation is so weak. I was very disappointed by the villain because the Drago Fist from the last movie was Drago Bloodfist, the last movie, was very intimidating, very believable. I loved that character in the last movie. And I didn't love the villain that much in this movie. He was just generic, kind of cringy sometimes, and yeah. Now all 3 of these movies have this comic relief, the side character comic relief, and in all 3 of the movies, that's annoying. I don't ever find it funny. I know it's for the kids, like, oh, the kids need to laugh at something, which I'm fine with. But in this movie, it was very irritating sometimes when we'd have the side characters and they'd have jokes and they'd have running gags that were just not funny, to be honest. There was one running gag in this movie. It just wasn't funny to me. Other comedy in this movie, very good. Everything that's not related to the side, or the comedy relief characters, everything else is amazing in this movie. And, like you've seen other reviews, this sticks the landing of the trilogy perfectly. This is a fantastic end to this trilogy. One of my favorite trilogies of the 2010s. The ending of this movie, I just felt so satisfied walking out. Remember Glass from a couple months ago? Yeah, that is the definition of unsatisfaction at the end of a movie. I was not satisfied from that movie at all. Lego Movie 2, I was satisfied for. And this movie, very satisfied by. At the end, I was very much on board with the whole movie. The whole movie at the beginning, it's interesting. It's very interesting. Maybe not as interesting as the first two, but not less interesting. I was very invested in seeing the characters, seeing what they were going to do, and I was very very interested in what was going on with the whole plot, with the hidden world and the light fury. It was very well done. Very investing stuff. But for me, the heart of this movie was the ending. Because like I said, the ending is so satisfying. And yep, I of course stand by that. I just said it. It is so good at making this trilogy feel like a close. It feels like we're not going to get any more How to Train Your Dragon stuff. That doesn't make me sad, even though I love How to Train Your Dragon. It's a great series. I'm not like that sad about it because it was such a satisfying ending, and I thought it was so well done. Yeah, guys, go see the movie. if you like the first two, you'll like this movie. You didn't like the first two, you probably won't like this movie. But who didn't like the first two? Most people are probably gonna really like this movie. Probably gonna really dig it. I really dug it. Also, when was the last time we could say the action scenes in an animated movie were... Never mind, that is stupid of me. The last few animated movies we've gone have had insanely entertaining action scenes. Lego Movie 2, Spider-Verse, holy crap, Incredibles 2, Ralph Breaks It. Okay, fine. Animation is really good at making it entertaining. But I guess none of them are in this way entertaining. Like, the How to Train Your Dragon movies are so entertaining in the scale, the animation, the characters... All of them come together to make one awesome movie. Another thing I really love about this trilogy really needs to do some. One thing that's very hard for a trilogy is having to make the characters evolve through each movie. Make them change. This movie through the series is that great. Take what Hiccup looked like from the first movie and take what he looks like in this one. Completely different. I was bothered in the trailer, like, why didn't you make Hiccup look like the beard that we saw in the first trailer? And... I'm fine the way that's totally fine the way they did it. This is a series that constantly knows how to deliver. It constantly knows how to not... Another thing I love about this movie is that, like a lot of sequels do, and a lot of third installments, or second installments, they try and go bigger than the first. We need to be more awesome than the first. How to Train Your Dragon 2, yep, it went bigger. In a right way, in a completely separate direction. And what How to Train Your Dragon 3 is it takes the direction How to Train Your Dragon 2 went and goes in its own direction as well. It goes onto its new direction. It's not as insanely different as 1 and 2 are. It is a lot more similar to 2 than it is to 1, but I think that it takes its own route, takes its new things, and it doesn't try and go bigger than the first. I am bothered by the titling of this movie. It shouldn't have been called The Hidden World. It bothers me. I think they could have just called it How to Train Your Dragon 3. If you are looking at it, the third act of the movie is definitely not the most exciting part of the movie. The ending of the movie. Now, that's not... Maybe the third act is the epic climax fight scene in the movie. The epic final battle. And this movie is definitely not the most epic part of the movie. It's entertaining, sure. It's not, but it's just not the most entertaining scene in the whole movie. Yeah, I just liked where this movie tried to focus itself on. It didn't try to focus itself on the relationship between Hiccup and his mother. It didn't try to focus itself on how, oh, Hiccup's so depressed about Stoic, because that's what any other movie would do. Instead, this movie's like, what are the weak relationships in this franchise? I mean, we're always going to be developing the Hiccup and Toothless relationship. What's another weak relationship in these movies? Maybe the Astrid and Hiccup relationship. Alright, let's target that, focus on it, and let's develop it. And I think they did a great job with that. I was very invested in the characters of this movie. This is definitely the best movie I've seen this year, because Lego Movie 2 had detectable problems. I really liked the movie. Might love it, but it had detectable problems. I can't think of anything else other than that I've really loved this year. The Upside was fun. It's fun. That's all I can really say about The Upside. Immensely entertaining movie. You go see How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden Worlds. This is a great conclusion to one of my favorite trilogies of the 2010s, and it's a great movie. Consistently... Okay, so let me just say... I don't know where this one ranks on the series. I don't know if I will make a spoiler review. You'll just hear on Monday because I'm leaving for the weekend. But if I were to rank it, right now, it probably goes 1, 3, 2. I liked 2 more than 3. Just because I feel like it was a bit more ambitious. But I still love 1, and I love 3. It's 3 and 1 that I'm really best on. 2 is my favorite. But it's 3 and 1. Those two, I'm flipping back and forth. I do have a very good feeling that 3 will fall into the worst place, but there's a good feeling that 1 will fall into the first place. Yeah. Because in the end, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is a great conclusion to a great trilogy. It sticks the landing, Return of the Jedi style, Like, what I mean by that is that it does it perfectly. It's a great ending to a great trilogy, and I'm going to give How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, a solid 9 out of 10. If I did what Anthony Fantano did, I would have said a strong 9, maybe mid-9. I really enjoyed this movie. Great stuff. Guys, in the end, goodbye. I don't have any other reviews coming up this weekend. I would definitely be seeing Fighting with My Family this weekend, but I'm going to the mountains, so that's not happening. No videos this weekend. Sorry, guys. See you guys later. Bye.